What's up, guys? Today I'm going to show you how to make your very own custom glitter Funko Pop. We're going to go over the supplies first, and then we're going to start customizing. Alright, stay tuned. Okay, so first, obviously, we're going to need our Funko Pop. And today I'm going to be doing Quasimodo's Fool. I typically like to do pops that has got a lot of different colors on them. I think it just pops a lot better. So we're gonna do this one. Got several different colors on it. I have most of the colors. I think there's like a maroon on the top of his crown. The closest thing I have is red. So we're just gonna use that. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I like to take my pop to the store when I'm buying the glitter so I can really match them up. The better the match, the better the results. All right, so we got our Funko Pop. We're going to need our glue. Mod Podge is what I use. Matte. They have different ones. They have matte, satin, gloss. Gloss is cool because this can also be used as a sealer. So once you're all done, you can just take this and just put a coat of it over the whole thing to kind of lock in that glitter so it doesn't fall off on you after touching it and stuff like that. But what I use is actually still made by the same company, and they have this acrylic sealer right here. So I mean, it's up to you, it's preference. I just like to just, go ahead and spray it. It's just a lot faster than using the brush and going over it and everything. All right, as you can see, it's this super high shine. So I mean, a cheaper option would also be to you can go to the dollar store and buy top coat nail polish and just put a couple coats on that. But it does smell. You are gonna smell that. So I don't recommend it, but if you want to go a cheap route, you can do that. All right, we're gonna need a paintbrush. Now you can use different brushes. This is a smaller one, and you can use a bigger one. The bigger one would be to cover a bigger area a lot faster. Smaller ones are for detail when you want to get, like I say, it's like coloring a coloring book. So you want to get that outline without going over, which you could always scratch it off if you're still in the beginning of the custom. But I'm just going to use this one because the glue, you just run it under some warm water and clean this out really nice, and then just reuse it again for the next glitter color. But you always want to clean it out once you're done with one color because you don't want to mix your glitters up. It's not going to look very good. So we have that, and then we have our glitters. These are all the colors I'm going to be using. Let me see one that's got the label still. Okay, so you want to look for extra fine glitter. Now there's a Martha Stewart brand that Michaels sell. These also came from Michaels, but you can find these kind in Walmart. I've seen them in Walmart. But there's a Martha Stewart brand that has super extra fine, which is like the best. The smaller the glitter, the better results. All right, so we're gonna use extra fine glitter today. And once you're done with the color, let's move those out the way. You can use this right here to spray it off, so that way you can see the spots that you missed, and also you can get all that extra off so it's just not getting all over the place. But disclaimer, this is going to get messy. There's no way around it. You're going to get glitter all over the place, which is why it would be best to have a folder like this. So with the folder, you just open it up, lay it down. And what's going to happen is, as we're applying our glitter, it's all going to catch it on the folder. And then once you're done, open the top of the glitter, fold it in half, give it a tap, and you can pour it all back in. All right. So a little thing of glitter goes a long way. I think this is usually like the smallest that they come. But if you can find it smaller, that's awesome because you don't need a lot of glitter. Seriously. Okay, so let's get our pop out the box and let's get started. Okay, so here's our pop. Now, what I like to do is I like to just look at the pop and come up with a game plan. From what I can see, his crown, it does come off, and his hair kind of goes in front of it. So I don't want to lose that detail. It's going to look a lot better if the purple goes all the way down into his hair and the cracks. But there's no way to do that with a brush without touching the hair. So we're going to take the crown off. We're going to take the head off because it's touching the top of this cape, and we want that whole thing covered. And then we're going to take the cape off because it does disattach right there. And we want to get the whole undershirt glittered. All right. So let's do that. If you don't know how to do that, basically what you want to do is what I do is I get a cup of warm water. I run it warm out of the faucet and then put it in the microwave for about 3 minutes. And then just submerge him for like 10 seconds or so. The plastic softens up, and then you can just pop his head right off. Now what I do want to say is that everything softens up. So like this wand here, it's going to be pretty soft. So if I have it bent like that, when it's soft, when it cools down, it's going to stay like that, and we don't want that to happen. So either make sure that it's straight before it cools down, or drop it back in the water, let it warm up again, straighten it out. And I like to hold it straight and run it under some cold water, so that way it gets hard again. All right, so let's get this thing taken apart. Okay, here we go. So funny thing is, while I was waiting for my water to heat up, I went ahead and just pulled it apart. So I usually don't have this good of luck, but this one came right apart. So if you are doing Quasimodo, you might be able to do the same thing. But okay, so we have our pieces. Okay. I also noticed on this crown, these pieces underneath, this is a little darker than these like dots. So I'm going to use a yellow for these dots. I'm going to use the gold for these underneath pieces. All right. So first, let's start with let's do the head, since he's only got one color. All right, set that to the side. And with the head, usually when you're doing heads, you kind of, you have the top, and if that's wet and you're trying to do all the sides or whatever, you don't want to touch it because it's not very much to hold on to down here usually. So I take an old paintbrush that's like all dried up and stuff, or you can use a pencil or ink pen or whatever, just something to stick inside of his little head there. Make sure it's nice and tight because you don't want it to be wet and fall off. So bam, then you can hold it like this as you hit the different sides without touching it. Okay, so we have that. And his hair is, it's like a light brown, but his pants are brown. So let's do something to kind of separate the two. We're going to use orange for his hair. So I have orange right there. All right. So I don't want to dump it, so I'm putting it on the little holes. So I don't want to just dump it on there. Get our glue. Get our brush. Okay, so what you want to do first is you want to worry about the outlines. Outline the parts, so then that way once that's done outlined, then you can just go in here just without having to worry about touching anything you don't want to touch. So take your time, do the outline first, and then you can go ahead and speed through that. All right. You want to try to do an even coat. A nice amount, but an even coat. You don't want to go too crazy on it. And this isn't super glue or nothing, but it does dry fairly fast. So just try to get as much as you can on there. Once you got some on, just sprinkle your glitter into the area that you just put glue on. And dump it and tap it. Get that extra off, that excess off. Okay? Okay. So once you think that you're where you want to be, what you want to do is, well, first of all, sit that down. I'm just gonna smack his face a little bit. Tap it off. Try to get all that extra off. If it didn't stick to the glue, it's gonna fall off. Okay. Now you see you have this glitter here. It's not stuck to them, but it's just, you know, it's glitter. It sticks to stuff. So what you want to do is you want to either have a trash can handy or either take it outside and use your air can and just not full blast, not really close. Back up a little bit, give it some space, and just get off all the extra. Just go all the way around them and just back and forth, just spraying. Okay, and then with that, you'll see all the spots that the glue didn't stick to, so that way you can touch it up, or you'll just clean it off really nice like you want to anyway. All right, so let's do that, and then we'll move on to the next piece. All right, so here we are. I figured I'd just go ahead and give you a look at what it looks like after you've sprayed it off with the air can. It looks like we got everything. I don't really have to do any touch-ups. I see a couple spots, but I'm not really worried about it. All right, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, so I figured I'd take this time to show you how to clean this glitter up. I happen to have a sorter box handy. If you're a collector like me, you have these just laying around sometimes. So what I do is I poke a hole in it, and you take your, right there, so he can dry off really nice, and you don't have to hold him, he's out of the way. So sit him to the side, cap your glue off, top off. Just trying to get this extra stuff off so it doesn't land on the table where we don't want it. All right, take your folder, fold it in half, tap it. All right, then pour it all back in. Oh, sorry, I hit the camera. See that? Look how much glitter we saved. A little bit of glitter goes a long way. All right. Now look, I got glitter right back on it, but majority's gone. So I'll just take this over my trash can. Brush that into the trash can.
A few moments later.
Okay. So we're all done with everything, I believe. I think I'll do the flocking tomorrow, but right now we need to get all this sealed because we don't want it falling off when we go to put them back together. All right, I'll just give you a quick look. You can see what I did. He's got the black shoes. You don't gotta go under the bottom. Black shoes, brown pants, green shirt. Okay. Set that down. I think the crown should be good to touch now. So we got the gold underneath with purple and the yellow balls with the reddish on top. It actually looks burgundy. I guess it's bleeding through. Okay. We have the cape. The little yellow ball. It's got the hole in it. I think that's a pretty cool detail. All right. And like I say, I'll probably flock this tomorrow. Or, it doesn't matter. I can flock it whenever, honestly. But, there's the cape. And of course, you saw the head. Okay? So, now, we're going to take these outside. You always want to spray stuff like this in a well-ventilated area. You know, read the warnings. Read the warnings on this stuff because, you know, it could explode in temperatures. You got, this is cancer and reproductive harm. Yeah, so do this out in the, if you use this, do this out in a place where you have a lot of air. I could use this because, like I said, it is a water-based sealer and it would be a lot faster, but I like using this since it's got the super high shine, and it's, you know, clear acrylic. It's going to get a lot harder than that will. All right. Okay. So it is the next day. I just went ahead and let my sealer dry overnight, because if you don't let it dry and you gotta, with this stuff, you gotta like push it down and apply force to it, you end up wiping it off from places that you don't want to wipe it off because it gets like super tacky before it's dry. And I think the spray might say to let it dry for like 24 hours or something like that. But for the sake of this video and me being impatient, I think it's dry enough. Okay, so we've sealed everything. And also, I decided to flock the little fur around the cape. You can see that. Flocking, I haven't mastered flocking yet, but I kind of got an idea of what to do. So maybe in a future video, we'll do flocking. Okay? So Now we're going to put it back together. Okay, I have a piece of cardboard here. You don't need to have this, but I have it just to, kind of, I like to squirt some there and manipulate it because it gets real stringy or whatever. But I use this E6000. It's clear, transparent, so if it leaks out a little bit, it doesn't really matter. And it holds really good. Now, if you use this, don't think you're getting this stuff back apart to redo anything. This stuff is pretty much one and done. All right. So what we have to do is, let's check our points. So for the body to get the cape, he's got a point on his chest and he's got 2 on his shoulders. Okay. Now we want to, normally what you would want to do is you want to scuff it up just so it bonds better. But that's a really small hole. And I think I'm just gonna hold it back together. You see the 2 points on the inside, and then the little ball. It's got a little point on that side too. So I'm just gonna put some glue on it. I'm gonna put it on both pieces. Give them a second to kind of start to dry a little bit, get tacky, and then I'll put them together. Since you don't really need it anymore. Thanks, Quasi. Ooh, it's kind of tight. Make sure you push that down there. Push that in. Got a little glue on his neck. It's all good. So see how it's lifting up? It's rocking. That's why you want to kind of hold that pressure there. I mean, I am pressing on both sides, so when I let off on one side, it rocks over, but come on, you guys know how to use glue. This isn't about how to use glue. It's about how to make a custom glitter Funko Pop. Alright, so I'm going to leave that to the side. We're going to put the crown back on his head. Okay. Now, like I say, you're supposed to scuff it up so it grips better, which is why, if you can see, Funko has like a grid pattern. Try to focus a little bit. They have a grid. See the grid? So the glue can get in the cracks and hold a lot better. Like, same thing with, see the grid around the outsides? So, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to scrape these feet a little bit. We'll put them on the rotating plate and see how we did. your Funko Pop. You need your glue. I recommend Mod Podge matte. You can also use it as a sealer. I use Mod Podge sealer that also comes in a spray can. It's just faster, covers a lot more ground. We needed paintbrush. You can use the big brushes if you're doing, let's say if you're doing a 10-inch pop and you have bigger areas. A bigger brush would be better just to cover more ground. The Mod Podge doesn't dry like super glue, but it does dry fairly fast. So you want to get a nice even coat down, get your glitter on there before it's too late. You need air cans, spray it off so that way you can see the spots that you missed. Get off any extra glue any extra glitter that didn't stick. What else? This is my first video. Cut me a break. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link everything down in the bottom, list it, and put some links up, places that you can get all this stuff. And like, comment, subscribe for more. I got a lot of things planned for the future. Also, if you want to support the channel, all the custom glitter figures that I showed in the beginning and this guy is going to be on the Etsy page that I'm going to create for the channel, just to support the channel a little bit. Alright, so if you want to support the channel, go ahead and purchase one of those guys. I'm going to put that link down in the description as well. You guys have a great day. My name's Nessie. This is No Box Damage.